How many times do we apply for jobs and we are shortlisted, but again, we fall short at the point of the interviews? How many times did we feel confidence that we're gonna win this job, that we are prepared, that we are ready, but ultimately we do not get a very positive feedback after the interviews? It doesn't mean that your papers are not right. It doesn't mean that you are as bad as you think. But all it means is that probably there is something that you did not do right. One thing that people don't always know is that once you make an application for any job opening and you are shortlisted, from an academic perspective, from a certificate issue, you are qualified for the job. In fact, you have satisfied the employer's requirements. Given, granted. That is fantastic. But even despite you getting shortlisted and attending the interviews, you still fall short. Many times we think that the employers were unfair. Many times we may think that, there was unfair play. Many times we tend to believe that, they had already a choice which they had forethought and predetermined, but that is not always the case. Many times we fall short, not because of our academic papers, not because of our qualifications, but because of how we present ourselves, but because of how we showcase ourselves. So there is one secret that I will tell you now about interviews. And the biggest secret is that once you have been shortlisted, the reason why they will call you for that interview is because they want to ascertain that it is true the person they feel like meets their qualifications is the right person. So in essence, you go for an interview to defend yourself and to show to the interviewers that you are really the right person for the job. You go there to present the material facts. You go there to show that whatever they saw in papers is actually in your mind. So how then do we prove that? There are three aspects of an interview, three parts, three sections, three questions that I think are extremely, extremely important. And those are the determinants of whether we get the job or otherwise. And the first one is always the first question. Tell us who you are. Now, once that question has been probed to you, do not start malingering. Do not start to stammer. It's a simple yet very complex question. You should now lay out everything that you have achieved. You must lay out all your strengths and potential. Your character should be seen when you are answering that question. Your attitude must be projected while answering that question. You don't start by telling us stories about, I went to this school, I graduated. No, that's not important. Tell us your achievements. And that should take the time they have given you, because different interviewers will give you different time frames to answer that question. So take the earliest opportunity to set the tone in the rest of the interview. Once you satisfy the interviewers that this guy understands who he is, he really knows what he has done, come on, you got it. You got it. That is the first thing. Tell us who you are. Don't give stories. Just enumerate your achievements, enumerate your successes, enumerate your strengths, enumerate your attitude. Those things must be packaged together because that is essentially what defines the kind of an employee you are projecting yourself to be. Number two, and this is again very, very important, when they ask you about why you think you are the best for that job, just find one thing and don't be so direct. Confuse them. You cannot just say that, I feel I am good for this job because I have been the best in everywhere I have been. No, because we cannot measure that. There are some attributes which look like, they are controversial. That is what you must always focus on. You know yourself. Understand yourself better because you'll help them to understand you better as well. So always don't go there and praise yourself, and be very subjective. Of course, you should answer that question very objectively. Why you think you're the best for the job. Don't create comparisons. Just be to the point. Just be straight. Just be forthright. Very important. And finally, and this is very important, salary expectations. I can tell you, many people have lost jobs because of that area of salary. So, again, before you attend any interview for any company, do your research, understand their salary scales. You should never give an overestimated salary or an underestimated salary because they all have ramifications. For example, when you quote a lot of salary, that would mean that you are just guided by money. You may not give as much as you should, but it is money that has brought you there, right? So you should not project yourself as someone who is guided by the value they gain. Okay? When you underestimate your salary, it shows that you do not have what it takes. You do not understand the kind of a job that you're getting into. So you must be extremely careful. The best answer to give for this question is tell them to pay you according to their salary policy, according to their payment policy, according to what they have determined. That should be your first answer. But when they insist that you must quote, you must give them a definite answer. Then my advice is that now, because you've done some research, tell them a salary that reflects their salary scales. It has to be within their salary scales, and that is how they will feel like you're the right person for the job. So stay ahead. Don't just be caught pants down. Always want to be better and be ahead of the interview even before the day of the interview. And that is my perspective from Fidel, the corporate doctor. Adios.